community, creativity, culture, and then also change, and also fear. I feel like the mission statement of the East Lubbock Art House is really to make art for everyone, and it's the idea of artivism, which is art and activism. Art is for everyone. Like, everyone should have access to art. I mean, everyone should have access to not even just art, but things like food, shelter, no matter what, no matter who you are. So everyone has access to art, everyone can participate in art initiatives, and everyone can also see art. My name is Danielle East, and I'm the founder executive director of East Lubbock Art House. So we're located in East Lubbock. We're a community art center, and so we support creative education, artistic expression, and a lot of mutual aid initiatives. So it's a nonprofit that was founded in 2020. And the why is because I've always been interested in the arts and also working in the community. So it's kind of that intersection of those two things that I just felt like this was something that I wanted to do and I needed to do, and it was also needed in the community. It's one of those ideas and I'm like, this will be good, and this is something that could not just help myself, but help other people too. Being able to provide resources to people is also really important to me.
There's kind of a consumption and creation relationship with art. I feel like art has become, in this modern day, very consumable. That a lot of people, when they come to the art house, I want them to feel inspired to create. So not just to consume. So I think that making art in a way that inspires more creation is the best way to do it.
Yeah, so we have 12 programs and initiatives. So one of them is our community art classes. So a lot of our programming is like that, so it's free for people to participate and to also contribute to, not only just participate in.
Yeah, they're very palatable for all ages. We have kids up in there, we have older folks as well. And they make all of the art classes that way. They have people teaching them and demonstrating that are really good at talking to people and that make it understandable for both up-and-coming artists and experienced artists.
Yeah, so a lot of printmaking. Printmaking is when you make multiples of something. So how we have all the t-shirts over there, it's another type of printmaking. So printmaking is whenever somebody created something and they're like, oh, I could make another one of those.
So are we technically just making giant stamps?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Giant stamp.
And then we're also using this black water-soluble ink. And then we have these braiders. Sometimes you have to roll it for a good 2 minutes or so. And you want to put a good amount of pressure on your block. So usually your first print is considered a test print on the white paper. And then after you make a few ones on white, you can do it on another color. Kind of align it up. So these are little squeegees. Basically, you get to roll the print underneath it with the paper. So that's first test print. So if you feel like, oh, I didn't get a lot of ink in some areas, you can go back and make sure you get enough ink.
So we try and make it a place for creative ventures of all kinds, not just physical, analog art, but also just creative projects in general. And so we try and make it more of an avenue for all kinds of artists within the East community of Lubbock. My favorite thing about East Lubbock Art House, it would have to be the community. Not just the community it had when I came in, but the community it's fostered since then.
East Lubbock Art House surrounds community, bringing the community together, giving the community resources. It's for the community at its core, and I think the community gives to us, the art house too. They're one and the same, really.
I guess my idea of success and impact isn't really driven by quantitative measurements. If one person shows up or 100 people show up, It's not that I don't care, but it's also just like I'm mostly interested in like the qualitative aspect of it. But we do see numbers as really good, and as like maybe we're making change and maybe people are using like word of mouth to tell other people to come out and do stuff.
It's not just about like making art, which although it's very important, it's about connecting people and resources and things like that. Well, Danielle is so cool. When I met her, she was 22. So she had like started this nonprofit, rented this space, was doing it full time at 22, which I thought was like so cool, right? I like that she chose to be in East Lubbock, who has very few resources. And she especially will be known as somebody who made a space for people who everyone else forgot and nobody cared about, and made something beautiful and brought beauty in a time where I think we need it now more than ever. Living here a while now, you learn like, oh, East Lubbock, that's the bad part of town. That's the dangerous part of town. That's where all the black people are, you know. Most definitely, I think it's stigmatized.
The certain stigma that's attached to East Lubbock is basically that we're criminals, you know, the bastardized version of Lubbock, that we are uneducated. I mean, you know, we're demonized, and I think a lot of it has to do a lot with the media. You know, the media kind of portrays it, because I feel like, you know, in order for one part of town to look better or whatever, you have to kind of demonize another part of town. I'm a firm believer that if one side of the town looks bad, then all of it looks bad. If I don't look good, you don't look good.
You know, but I think that there are similarities in a lot of cities where there was redlining. There were laws passed about black people not being able to buy property in certain areas and only being allowed to stay in East Lubbock. And obviously that's reverberated up until now, because that's where a majority of, I think, the black people in Lubbock live. These things happened in the past, and we kind of today like to say, oh, that was in the past. It doesn't affect what's going on today, but that's not true. I mean, it's just blatantly clear that that divide is still here. Like, that's where the black people of Lubbock are concentrated. It's not a coincidence, you know?
As a matter of fact, I think it's been about 20 years ago that one law was actually taken out of the books. And basically it said that people that lived over here or people of color couldn't go past I-27. That you basically had to stay over here at a certain time, unless, I think the only caveat was if you worked here. If you worked over there in West Lubbock, you were allowed to go over there. But yeah, back in the day, you couldn't leave a certain section. And as a matter of fact, the street MLK was once called Quirk Avenue. And quirk is another word for a whip. Think about it, it's only been 20 years that it was taken off the books. I mean, you know, wrap your mind around that, I'm like, man, wow, it's 2025. But again, little by little, I think, you know, the things are changing through art and music, yeah, stuff like that.
I just like to see more resources for the schools and the children. Education is so important. Programs, job training, whatever, just to give people more options about how to live their life and to build a future for themselves. But I think getting involved in places like East Lubbock Art House is great, right? The more like engagement that we have from the community, the more that we're able to like get grants or get bigger sponsorships, and then we can pour it back into the community. So
I think us, East Lubbock Art House, you know, we're kicking the door down. You know, we're not kicking the door down, we're totally demolishing the wall. You know, we're doing things that are just gonna put East Lubbock, you know, on the map. And I mean, like right now we're getting ready for some shows coming up, and we're getting people from North Carolina, from Austin. They want to see about this little art gallery in East Lubbock that is doing some crazy things, you know what I mean? Yeah, we want to give a platform for people that normally wouldn't have a platform. We're considered the punk rocks and the misfits of the art community, yeah. And that's a moniker we love, and we have no shame in it, right? Yeah.
There's so much going on here. Like, we just had the Walk to End Racism. There's some other events that are coming in this month of April that are just really progressive for our community and are really going to do great at making art a voice for, you know, the activism that we engage in. It was a good event, and it brought together way more people than I ever thought I'd see in one place in like Lubbock, Texas, let alone East Lubbock.
Thank you for not only supporting the East Lubbock Art House, but supporting our community out here for sure. You guys just showing up is doing the work. We hope you guys enjoy today and are able to experience East Lubbock. For those of you that have not ever been out here before, this place is probably one of the most beautiful spots in the entire city. What Danielle has cultivated out here, providing a third space to folks, it is doing wonders for the community. It's preventing crime, it's preventing violence.
Hey, art is more than just pictures. East Lubbock Art House is a whole lot more than what many of us conjure up in our minds when we think of art. East Lubbock Art House understands that art can be a powerful tool to explore, challenge, and dismantle racism. Art, through its various forms, promotes dialogue and sparks conversation and encourages critical thinking. And that is exactly what Danielle has done. East Lubbock Art House has transformed not only East Lubbock, but Lubbock as a whole. Thank you.
So just to let y'all know about what we're doing today. So we do have some trash bags, some grabbers, some gloves. So we're gonna ask y'all if y'all will help us not only pick up trash in this block, but if y'all go forth in whatever direction you feel comfortable and pick up trash. Also, the decrease of trash and litter in our community increases property value. We do have a lot lower, about half the property value of any other place in Lubbock. So if y'all would help us pick up the trash, because we do have some upcoming events and we're going to be doing stuff for Earth Day with the youth, but we also want to make sure that it's safe for them and also that we're working on the beautification in our community. So thank y'all. Like, to develop community, it's not just a one-time interaction thing. You need to like connect with them like 6 or more times. So just always like, if people have the capacity and time, you should come back, participate in more, like apply for more shows.
Art is for everyone. It reminds me of a quote from a certain Pixar movie. Like, anyone can cook. So not necessarily like anyone is great at art or necessarily like phenomenal, or might even be willing to pursue it, but you can find it in all places. And in East Lubbock, I think there is a blossoming community of artists. And this place has just been a great home for them.
There are very few things I think that connect us all as humans, but art is definitely one of those things. No matter where you come from, what you believe, you can always enjoy a piece of art, make a piece of art. Art like makes us face things that we don't want to face. It sends messages that people don't want to hear. You know, it humanizes people who have been dehumanized. Everyone can enjoy it, they can do it, appreciate it, see it, feel it. And I think that it can really open people's eyes and connect people in ways that other things can't. So it truly is for everyone.